most of the time, I'm teaching a lot of Master Wus, the Wus Health and Fitness Qigong. So we teach people how to do healing, how to connect with the energy, how to feel energy. And students actually been using that as the form they learn from me more than ever, because we're promoting it for a long time. So there are times I will be teaching things like maybe the anti-cancer Qigong, which I call the level 2. And sometimes I teach people, the popular one people want to improve eyesight is the eye Qigong, which is almost a hot item. People want it all the time, and it works. And then other people have an issue. We say one of the issues people have could be menopause problem. We say they are also I would say usually is the male in the life, and then they want to not run to the washroom to go to the washroom at night, right? So that would be something we will use the kidney Qigong to do too, or we can use the Qigong of the kidney to try to boost up the sexual abilities, because that's some very powerful way of boosting up the libido. So other ways of doing Qigong, sometimes we may not have time to learn Qigong, because Qigong is beautiful, but I only have 10-15 minutes a day, so how can I do more Qigong, right? So we said, oh, Teresa taught me the health and fitness Qigong, that's enough already, then I don't want to do anymore. So as I was explaining earlier to the students, here is, well, you eat an apple today, and tomorrow you may eat an orange, and you might want a banana, and etc., right? So certain parts of the body, they use a certain Qigong way to heal it, but we actually can need a variety. But wow, there's so many things to do, I don't have time. Then we say that when people are sick in the hospital, they will have time. So when they need an MRI, they have time for the MRI. They all have time. Everyone has time. So when we are sick, we have the time. But when we are okay, then we don't have time. Because it seems that we are not very important sometimes. Well, I'm doing other things. It's not that I just doing Qigong. I have other things I'm doing to improve myself. But then I would say go back to when we first met, that we do Qigong, and then you come to me because you're attracted with Qigong, right? So we understand Qigong will heal the body already, but I didn't feel like practicing it. So then I would say, unfortunately, sometimes people will have the wake-up calls, and they come back some years later, say they got so-and-so problems. I wish nobody has any problems. But then we do age, right? So as, let's say at 59 this year, so I'm proud to still look not too bad at 59, and have 3 kids, 30 years old, 26 and 24. So I guess now it's like getting old, and I have a few years, it's almost becoming my advantage to tell people, do you, I think I look pretty okay. Now, so what am I doing in the Chi Gong Conference, right? Why do I want to have a conference? So one of the reasons why I want to have a conference is I find people need to raise their energy to a higher level. But then when they want to raise their energy to a higher level, they need a lot of steps to bring them up. So one of the things that stop us from going to a higher vibration is our feelings, right? So when we don't feel good, we keep pulling ourselves down. And then, so when I have an hour or two, Qigong is good, but it does not solve the vibration in a deeper way. So I would still walk out of the room. If something happened, I will all like that. So if I have a longer time with a group of people with doing Qigong, and like happy people, healers that coming into the room, so through the process of doing things together, we actually exchanging energy, we actually healing ourselves, each other at the same time, because we all come from the same source of energy, we're doing the same source of Qigong. So in the morning of the Saturday, so we have Bas doing the respiratory Qigong. This is very powerful Qigong for improving the lung. So we just love the form. So a lot of people as I say, are getting lung diseases, unfortunately. And as people are getting old, they all have asthma. A lot of people have asthma when they're aging. So the people in the nursing home, they're coughing, they're out of breath. So isn't it nice to train our breath earlier? So that's why there's a form to boost up the lungs, so people have a chance to heal the asthma too. So in between one big Qigong to the next Qigong, then we will have a speaker. So then we will have, say, we have Sat Juman. So Sat is one of my very lovely students. And he's actually a very successful businessman. But then he can show you how he can actually do Qigong at the office. I think it's pretty interesting. And then how he also balances life with Qigong. So the talks that they do is only 5-10 minutes. 10 minutes is sort of like a breakout time, right? Then we have the next hour. Then we will have a little bit time. Say we have Aaron coming in to talk a little bit how she uses Qigong, because she's also a healer, learn a lot of modalities, a yoga instructor, but she doesn't even talk about it. And he also like a Reiki teacher, a lot of different modalities she's doing in her life. So she can just very quickly and explain to you a little bit how you can use Qigong to your advantage, right? Yeah. So we have a little rest then. So around around 10 o'clock, a little bit after 10 o'clock, then I will show you another Qigong form. So this Qigong form is the advanced level of the level 2 of the anti-cancer Qigong form, which I rarely teach. Why I rarely teach? Because teaching that form is a lot of work. It's a lot of teachings, and I have to say a lot of things to explain, and it's just a lot of work to teach the form. The form is lovely, but I say, since after I taught people the form, they cannot remember it. So how can I help them to remember it? So I say, at that conference, I'm gonna tape myself this time. So I'm gonna tape it so people have a chance to appreciate. It's a very deep level that Master Wu put a Qigong form together. You have a chance to clean all your glands in your body, your pineal glands, your thyroid, all the glands in the body. You have a good way to wash them, right? It's a really lovely form. And then you move the body a different way. You move the body a different way. How to move the energy by swinging the body to get energy. It's very enjoyable doing it. I love the form. So, and there's a three circle method how to circulate energy up and down the body, and which is a part of the form too. So the form has actually got some of the best Qigong ever in the Qigong system that he felt very important that is put into the form. So but by the time that we actually finished all the 2 forms, so we have a good exercise and moving the Qi, then we say, if I want to be healthier, I actually need to know a little bit about how to eat, right? So we're gonna have the pleasure of having Dr. Alphys Ali coming in. So Dr. Alphys Ali is the teacher at the Canadian Naturopathic College. So he's training 300 naturopath doctors a year. He's also an acupuncturist. He's also a spokesperson for, he was spokesperson for Jameson. And he's also spokesperson for the Canada Bio. A lot of products is coming from Canada Bio that is in the health food store. And he also a spokesperson now for Omega Alpha, plus the professional line. So he is a very powerful teacher. So he's gonna come in to talk with you about stress nutrition. So his talk will be like within the hour, and then we break off for lunch. So after we come back for lunch, then I want to show you how to do a way to loosen up your whole neck. It's a thing that rarely taught. I don't even know how many people are taught at all, actually, in the last years, really. So it's a beautiful things to how to loosen up your whole area there, plus also how to loosen up the body. That people sometimes do the yoga practices. I went to yoga classes too, and when I come out, I felt nice, but I felt very difficult in some parts of my body. So I'm designing a Qigong form to loosen up people up, so that when they finish the yoga practices, they will actually feel better. So you can also experience that form as a form by itself for your own practices, but we don't need a yoga mat. We're not going to be lying in a table on the floor. No, we don't need a mat. So everything will be, you can start with something sitting, or you can do the whole form or standing up. Yeah. So just enjoyable form by itself. And I have a student that she has a headache after learning, and she said once she was running the form, then her headache just disappeared. Because a lot of headache is actually coming from the neck, shoulder area, very stiff, because the blood cannot actually move up to the head. So people, why they have hair falling down is because the blood moving up to the head is not so good. That's why sometimes people have gray hair very young, because there's a little bit, besides the genes, sometimes it's just the blood going up is not as good, right? So it's good for your memory anyway. So we continue. So what else am I doing? Okay. So after that, because it's a good form, so we will have a little short talk with Leanne about how she will visualize her energy in her yoga practices. She's a yoga instructor. And then I also have if my Jacqueline, my psychologist, will come in to do a little talk about how she uses Qigong as a teen, and then how she made through university without needing of any drugs or alcohol or smoke or whatever, because she was actually using Qigong growing up. That's why she saw her friends got messed up, but she said, "Wow, I never really need anything," because she was actually doing Qigong. So we also need some Chinese medicine, right? Chinese medicine is something part of the healing system of our culture. So to understand a little bit how to use herbs is actually very important for our health. So I want to provide you some teachings of that. And then we have Ryan Scott, which is a registered TCM, a practitioner of acupuncture. So he's registered, and he's going to show you how to use herbs so that you can use it in your life. That's what he's going to do. So we have a special person coming from the USA. Is Edward also. Edward has been following me, I would say over maybe 15, maybe 12. I'm exactly over 12, must be over 12 years now. And then he's also, he actually become very intuitive now, and he also can do a Akashic record. So he hear messages, but when he first started Qigong, he did not have that ability, right? But as the ability keep moving, then he hear messages, and there was training behind that too. So maybe he can just explaining a little bit to you how he actually used Qigong in his journey, and now he quit his full-time job already, and he just have a school, and he teach people Qigong and doing healing on people. That's the job now.
What's his name?
Edward Doso. Yeah. So he's actually flying in from the States. Now, so very quickly, we have all the Qigong practices, and then we are already close to 4 o'clock, right? So we will finish the day. So at 4 to 6 o'clock, then we have a time that if people want to learn a little bit more how to teach Qigong, right? So that 2 hours, I want to show you, if you want to share some Qigong with your friends, it's not that you cannot share, right? People can just share things that's beneficial for people, but then you have to know what you're doing, right? So we have 2 hours to explain to you how you should work on the breathing a little bit, how to pay attention to this. So if you like the Qigong for the yoga form, so you can actually want to show your friend how to loosen up the neck, and then they'll be very happy, but you have to know how to do it again. So we have the 2 hours to show you. So after that, then then you build your audience. Isn't that nice? Okay, I can show you how to help you this is nice. So we will call that Qigong for the yoga teacher training. So it is a training, so you can go and help some people afterwards if you want to. Then so there you go, it's 6 o'clock, so then we finish for the day, then we go home and sleep. Or we just go and dance too, right? Okay. So then we have the next day. So next day in the morning, so if you're going to take the, if you wanna, okay, I'm just gonna come on Saturday, I'm not gonna come for Sunday, that's fine, right? So you can just do 9 to 4 and don't do the 4 to 6, that's fine. So you can, that's just fine. So, but if you really want to understand how to do the teaching, even about that form or something, so the minimum that you have to do is you have to come back Sunday morning for another hour or something to run that form again. So we rethink how the movements are done and then, and we'll have a videos where I'm taping myself this time, right? So, and then you can show your friends better this way. And I can give you a certificate, you actually took a class, right? So we don't have to be perfect, but we have to, society needs some help, so we can do some kind of teachings. But if you are actually a yoga instructor, then you actually have a very complete teaching how to teach a class. So if you have that kind of training, so if you have the course like this, take the whole day or Saturday and a bit on Sunday, you really know what you have to deliver in a class. But if you are new in teaching, then you might take a little bit more time, but then you can still have something you can share with your friends, and then wow them up. Wow, you know so much in few weeks. Isn't that nice? Now, so after the practice, then we will have in the morning that we go through the Qigong for yoga, and then we have Mike. So Mike is gonna talk with you how he uses Qigong. He's actually an engineer of aerospace engineer, and Mike is training himself to be a healer for a couple of years now and a teacher of Qigong, and his dream is to quit his aerospace engineer job, well paid, and then do another job. Isn't that amazing? So we want to support Mike. Now support him. So and then we have all the talks are short. It's not that they're all talks about 10 minutes, very short talk. And then we will have Stefan. So Stefan is going to explain to you how he conquered his irritable bowel syndrome. It's a big thing. Many people has it in the society. How did he do it? Yeah. So it's only a 10-minute segment. It's very short, but it's actually influential. So after all these things, we are not even 11 o'clock, and then I'm actually going to show you another Qigong form we call the Qi Gong form. So the Qi Gong form is something that is my first Qigong form that I learned from my teacher, and that's how I start my journey. So the form is kind of long really, and if you don't have a video, you don't remember it. So the form, my teacher has heavily promoted the form when he was in China, and to help the Qigong form to be recognized actually nationally. So the form is very beautiful form. So and it's a form that is very good for you follow me, because the form has a lot of movements. So when you even if you have a lot of people, they can copy your movement. They can hear you. So it's also a beautiful form, right? So if people want to teach this form, I'm actually a qualified teacher. I can also show you if it's a form you want to work on teaching other people. But it's just long, right? So what I find is the form, I have chosen not to train people in that form, because I find the success rate is not high. I really like the form myself because people cannot actually practice it, because they have to really like Qigong, then they really enjoy it. It's something I really like doing. Yeah. But then as you haven't experienced it, you can experience it. This Qigong form is called the Qi Lao form in North America. So the teacher is just teaching that 1-2 form, and that's the practices, and it's very famous too, right? So and then so as we finish that form, I got myself taped this time again. So okay, so before 12 o'clock, so we will have our dear friend David Watson. So he's a he's strategizing people's life. He's also deep trance channeling. So and he offers deep trance reading. So I do readings, and he helped me a lot. So these days he's trying to help people to be themselves. So he's working on a project called Being You. So a lot of times people don't know how to be themselves, right? So when we just want to be ourselves, we feel very difficult, right? So if I just do what I like, then maybe I'm hurting people, or how should I think that I'm being myself, right? So for his whole life, he's coaching people how to be balanced, right? So he will have some insight for you. So he's gonna give you some techniques that can help yourself. He's not someone just talk. He usually have things that he can share with you. You can use it at home, right? So these talks are very good for you, because as people come to me, they say, I want more Qi. So you can only have more Qi if you are emotionally balanced. But then you also need to take care of your organs by eating a certain way, right? So that's why we got people to teach you different things, so that you can have a real experience of healing. And then when you leave the room, you learn a lot of things. So we also understand about home blessings, right? How to organize home with some techniques. So we call feng shui in Chinese. So after lunch, then actually before lunch, we actually will actually something is happening. So we actually will have one lunch hour, right? But because we actually have a new master in the city, his name is Chan. So he's from Brazil. He's a wonderful guy. And one of his skills, I haven't met someone that can do that skills yet in my life. I actually do, I clear the spirits in people's home. I do this all the time to get the spirit out. But I've never seen someone actually been doing it from a child, really. He was telling me from a child he's been taking the spirits out of home, but he did not even know he was doing it. For someone like this, isn't it interesting to hear from him, right? Isn't that funny? And then he actually is a Qigong healer, and he also teaches Qigong too. So because it's out of time in my conference, so I can only fit him. I want him to be there, so I say let's try to eat our food while we're doing some talk. So at lunchtime we can continue listening. So every minute is being used. So I'm gonna give him some time. Isn't that wonderful? And then after that at the 1:30, so we'll learn a few important tips from Thayer. Thayer is really, I say, someone that spent a lot of her years trying to understand how to organize the whole energy so that it will bring you wealth, bring you happiness, bring you a good relationship. Everything is about energy flow, but how do you move the things? They are techniques, right? So she's gonna show you how to organize your home. Isn't that nice? So we're gonna welcome Thayer. She's a very sweet lady, and then we have a little bit a very short talk about how to erase pain. So we have Vera. So Vera spent a few years with me, and she has pain all over her body when we met. So she take medicine for the pain too, but now she's pain free. Do you not want to know what she's doing to herself, and how did she do her Qigong practice that she can actually become pain free? She actually need prescribed drugs for pain. You see how much pain that she has from her fibromyalgia? It's a lot of pain. So and then after that, we'll have a little bit fun with a little short segment with Keith. Keith is a martial arts expert, so he's gonna give you a couple of tips on self-defense. I think it's really cute, right? Just have a touch of Keith there. So, and then everything will be short, as I say, right? Everything, and then after that, we did a lot of Qigong already. So I actually really want people to leave the room to feel abundance, right? So we always want to love, appreciate ourselves, unconditionally. That's what the teaching is these days. But then we usually need personal sessions before we can do that. It's not something you can talk and get it done. But as I was doing Qigong more, then I understand. So even trying to attract wealth in your life, then you have to think that wealth can actually come to you. So I actually was going to go through the visualization to attract money, and it really works for me. If I spend time thinking about it, I will have more people calling me. Oh my God. If I spend more time every day thinking about it, I have more things happening to me. I said, oh my God, it's too quiet these days. Oh, I didn't ask. I didn't think. I didn't work on my visualization. So it's something that really works for me, so I want to show it to you how it can be done, right? So we call it money Qigong, right? So after that, then we still go back to our feelings about loving, or you want to trust yourself. It's all those feelings, right? Then we feel I cannot, I wish I can, I don't do it sometimes. So that's the time when we do a new way of doing our heart Qigong. So when I do the heart Qigong, I'm sending energy to heal you at the same time. So we do it at the end of the day for that reason. So whatever is triggering you through the 2 days, so I have a chance to clear you out completely and let you leave the room. We say whole. I want you to feel really whole. Then I have to clean you well. So we're going to go through the heart Qigong to clean you and feel one together. And then at that time, you can decide what you want to be true. We actually even can do before and after muscle testing, a statement you want to be true, and after the heart Qigong, it'll be done. I actually did it in Calgary, it worked magically. I doing almost crazy. I just did it. Oh my God! I wanted to do this for a long time, but can I help people in our group? I wanted to do it, but I need some guts to do it. So in Calgary, I did it, and I can do it again in Toronto. So what do you want to be true? Then we're going to work on some statement together. And then at that time, we work together. And then what you want to be true will be true. Because you see yourself shifting, right? So it's really my gift to you. And then as we finish the day, it's already 4 o'clock. It's beautiful at 4 o'clock. And then you leave home, fantastic. But if you actually have an interest to understand how to do the Chinese way of the diagnostic way of Chinese medicine, so Ryan Scott gonna show you some secrets. The Chinese medicine, we want to know ourselves what kind of body type I am. So do I belong to a wet, or am I cold? Do I have heat? That kind of body type. So if you do not identify your body type, you don't know how to choose your food. So I know my body type. So if you want to do well, combining the medicine of Chinese, so you can actually go to this event 4 to 6. So and then Ryan is gonna look at your body type to check you and tell you what kind of body type you are. And then as you know your body type, you can choose the kind of food, which is just natural stuff, right? But you just don't know you shouldn't be eating this. This is the food you should avoid. So he will explain to you that's the 2 hours there. And then you also pick up some skills, how to look at your friend. Well, it seems that you have so-and-so not functioning very well. Isn't that nice? And then we also have, we say tongue reading. So we read the tongue, we read your life, right? Read all your health in a tongue. So I don't exactly know how to do tongue reading too, so I wait for Ryan to show me how. I just know that when the tongue is white, it means your digestion is not so good. But then the tongue has many positions, right? And how the color of the tongue also reflect your health, right? Isn't it nice? Oh, by the way, if you're coming for that class, I have to tell the student, bring a mirror. Bring a mirror with you so you can look at your tongue and then check. Wow, isn't that fun to learn that? I think it's very fun, right? Isn't it fun? So by the time we finish, then we complete the whole journey 9 to 6 o'clock for 2 days. Isn't that awesome? You learn so much. I put a lot of things to help you to learn a lot. It seems that there's some money to pay. We say that when people have health problems, they can spend any money on themselves. If you believe in Qigong, so why are you hesitating? Why are you not joining now? Why do you have to wait? Are you as important? There are things you learn, you may not have to use them, but then the knowledge come together, there's some work to do, right? So I wish you can appreciate this opportunity. So this is my wish, to have you come into the room. It's my wish to invite you to come to the room. But I say, I know, you have to want it, right? I understand if you don't want to come, doesn't mean you don't love me, you don't like me. It's just that you feel it's not right for you right now. I got it. So we do have nice people in the room, and then we will just enjoy ourselves without you then. So that's something you miss. But well, that's, life is a journey, right? So we choose what we want to do, and you're always in charge of you, okay? And thank you.